There are some amazing long-range calibers out there. However, when it comes to deciding which is the best, it's not that easy. Why? It depends on what you want to do with it, especially the great variety of long-range ammo made for its specialization. Instead of a jack of all trades and master of none, you now get calibers that are perfect for one thing, but only mediocre for others. While there are a lot of little gizmos out there that make hitting a target at long ranges ever easier, that does say nothing about the effect you have on the target. That does considerably narrow down your options. To help you with what ammo you should use for what, you get a list here with the best long-range ammo for each of the different jobs you can do with them. The best round for beginners. Are you a new shooter when it comes to long ranges? You cannot go wrong with the 6.5 Creedmoor. It is literally made for competitions at 1,000 yards and for high-volume shooting. Even better, it does not break your bank. As a newbie in long-range shooting, you have to train, and train. For that, affordable ammo is always a good argument. The 6.5 Creedmoor shines in one regard, and that is its excellent accuracy. At the same time, its recoil is very light, making it enjoyable to shoot. Also, you get a wide selection of different bullets, and there's some great factory ammo out there. While there are no real downsides to this caliber, there are still some haters, but that's something we have to live with. Introduced in 2007, this round gets a lot of passionate responses, both positive and negative. Alone with this, it has already outdone every other cartridge invented in the last few decades. There is a hype for both sides, love and hate, with a lot of false claims. Engineered for accuracy along the lines of modern designs, its bullets are super efficient, retaining their speed, making for very flat trajectories, while only generating a mild recoil. This also extends the life of the barrel. This leads to rifle competitions on small targets at 1,000 yards that are repeatedly won by the 6.5 Creedmoor. Besides that, it is also great for hunting going after elk and deer. In this capacity, it's also used in Africa, where it is also being used to hunt the world's largest antelope, weighing 2,000 pounds. Especially for new hunters, its moderate recoil makes it easier to shoot. Coupled with its accuracy and lethality, it is nothing you can go wrong with. With its low price, you can practice and soon become an expert shooter and field marksman. The best for precision shooting matches. If you need the absolutely best precision in your next match, it's the 6mm Dasher that you should use. It is fantastically accurate, and that with a remarkable consistency. That gives you the edge to win one competition after another. It is also easy to reload further, increasing its hyper accuracy. When it comes to recoil, it is negligible at worst and cannot be felt at best. Some advantages must have some downsides, and indeed there are a few. First, to really get the best out of this caliber, you will have to do your own reloading, as if this is not enough, the components are rather costly. Also, you should be very careful and follow the specs of this round to the point, or you might encounter some feeding issues. Developed in 1999, it was the brainchild of Dan Dowling and Al Ashton, leading to Dasher as a mashup of both names. Both were bench rest shooters who wanted to squeeze ever more accuracy out of their guns. The result speaks for itself, having won numerous records in bench rest competitions at distances of 600 to 1,000 yards. The key to winning its consistency. This means you need to employ proper hand-loading techniques in order to create only minimal shot-to-shot standard deviation, as well as minimum spread. It is this predictability that makes it possible for shooters to calculate the trajectories of their rounds, even at longer ranges, with extreme confidence. An interesting plus is that this is achieved with relatively mild velocities revolving around 2,850 feet per second. This allows shooters to easily manage the recoil of their guns and spot their hits as well as misses. The feeding issues come from the overall short length and the 40-degree shoulder. However, tuning the magazine can mitigate this problem. The best caliber for pure accuracy. If precision is everything you want, go with the 30 Stewart. It is purpose-built for the bench rest shooting, making it the caliber shooting the smallest 5-shot groups ever. In other words, it can only be described as insanely accurate. The downside is that as such, it is a niche cartridge, so good luck finding it in a store near you. To really understand its precision, one has to look at the .0077 inches 5-shot group achieved with this round in 2013 by Mike Stinnett. This means all 5 bullets landed within a space that is the same as the thickness of 2 sheets of paper. To prove that all shots actually landed on paper, a backer was used. This paper was moved and showed 5 distinct holes. The 30 Stewart is based on the 6.5 Grendel, which was necked up to 30 caliber. Stinnett formed the brass in a laborious process. He took a 6.5 Grendel and run it through a sizing die. The shoulder was pushed back far enough to chamber. Then you used a barrel dedicated for this process to form the brass. Next, he ran it through a die with a 30 caliber mandrel. At that point, the case neck is turned and the brass trimmed to the right length. He needed all in all 8 test firings before he got the dimensions correct. For the bullet, he chose a 30 caliber BIB 114 grain projectile, which he seated only 0.12 inches into the case. It was loaded over H4198 powder and achieved a muzzle velocity of 2,980 feet per second. The barrel he used was custom made and came with a twist of 1 in 17. If you plan on getting it somewhere, you might have to invest some time and load it by yourself. This way, Stinnett ensures that his record will stand for a long time. The best caliber for hunting. When it comes to hunting, nothing beats the .308 Winchester, itself being a jack of all trades. It is the best when it comes to hunt game without being too specific which one. This round is well balanced, and it comes with a proven track record. The recoil is manageable, so that you easily hit the target. It is no problem to find this caliber in any store, and you get a wide variety of bullets to choose from. Of course, this does not come with some downsides. So is the trajectory a little less forgiving, and the projectiles are more susceptible to wind. While you can choose more specialized rounds for certain kinds of game, there is a lot going for the .308 that makes it just right for most. Not least, nostalgia, as many hunters got their first experience with this round in the military. Apart from that, it is just the perfect round that has done it all. It has been used for everything apart from the largest game. It is accurate to begin with, and it does shoot well. Granted, the trajectory could be flatter, but you can deal with it for a simple reason. This caliber is just super consistent. Knowing where to aim, having a good scope, and a little bit of experience, you can hit what you want over quite some distance. It is its very versatility paired with its availability that made Jeff Cooper choose this round when he defined his vision of a scout rifle. A rifle meant to do it all reliably while being accurate and light at the same time. The .308 fits perfectly, as it can easily take down an animal with a weight of 1,000 pounds with a single hit. It allows for a light rifle, and it can produce 2 MOA groups at 200 yards. There are a ton of good factory loads out there. That includes Federal's gold medal match loads, Black Hill's 168 grain BTHP, and the Nosler 165 grain AccuBond. Also, reloading it is not that tricky, and you can tailor its performance to your liking. The best caliber for mule deer. Going for mule deer? Consider the 6.5 PRC. It is absolutely lethal, even at very long ranges, and it's made for accuracy. This is the cartridge for open country with an unobstructed view for miles into every direction. For that, it is made ballistically efficient. It comes with a recoil that is not too strong, and you get quite a selection of ammo and bullets. However, to benefit from it, you gotta put in more money, and it might take some time before you find the ammo you want. Introduced in 2018 by Hornady, it sits in a sweet spot for shooting long ranges in windy conditions with a mule deer, elk, or similar game at the end of the trajectory. Comparing it to the 6.5 Creedmoor, you get some 200 feet per second more, giving you the extra punch and the extra flat trajectory you are looking for. The projectiles are made to bleed speed very, very slowly. This allows it to even outshine calibers that are larger and hit harder. After 600 yards, it is the 6.5 PRC that has the most speed, left thanks to a high ballistic coefficient. Shooting the Hornady ELDX with a bullet weight of 143 grain, you get a drop of 65 inches at 600 and 137 inches at 800 yards. By then, they still have a velocity of a tad over 2,200 feet per second and 1,967 feet per second retained. This means at 600 yards, they still pack a punch of 1,539 foot-pounds, and at 800 yards, of 1,229 foot-pounds. At 500 yards, you get pinpoint accuracy and enough power to drop any mule deer, whitetail, elk, or moose. If you want to go for competitions, this caliber will serve you well too. However, here you should use lighter, extremely long-range rounds that give you better accuracy out to 2,100 yards. The best caliber for big game. Planning to hunt something bigger? Here, the best caliber is 300 Win Mag. You want to hit hard? That caliber packs some serious punch. With it, you can handle every big game animal you can find on this planet. While its terminal ballistics are nothing to sneeze at, It also comes with great accuracy nowadays. A further plus is that you can easily get it in any store, online or around the corner. Downsides are that it also kicks your shoulder, and not every round out there does what the caliber promises. Introduced in 1963, this amazing caliber was part of a series of belted Magnum cartridges offered by Winchester, which were based on the 375 H&H. At the beginning, in 1958, there were the two 64 Win Mag, 338 Win Mag, and the 458 Win Mag. Then came the 300 Win Mag, which very quickly made a name for itself. It became the go-to round when somebody wanted to hunt western big game. Also became popular in international hunting. That was no coincidence, as the 300 Win Mag came with a harder-hitting bullet but lighter recoil and a flatter trajectory than the 300 Weatherby Magnum, which had been available since 1944. To see the performance, we can just take one example. It shoots a bullet with a weight of 180 grain and a .507 G1 ballistic coefficient at a muzzle velocity of 2960 feet per second. With a rifle sighted at 1.5 inches high at a distance of 100 yards, you get a bullet drop of 6.7 inches at 300 yards. At 400 yards, the bullet drops a tad less than 20 inches. At that distance, it still has a velocity of 2,261 feet per second, which still gives it quite a punch. Soon, its performance was noticed by the military, and not last because of Carlos Hathcock, the most famous Marine sniper in Vietnam. He won the 1965 Wimbledon Cup with a 300 Win Mag. While he did not use this caliber in Vietnam, the attention of the military was there. Trying to adopt it, it had to comply with the laws of warfare forbidding the use of hollow point rounds. Changes to the ammo trying to adapt it to these rules introduced instabilities, so it fell through at first. But after trying again and again, it was adopted as the A191 and deemed effective up to 1,200 yards. Looking for a round effective to 1,500 yards, it was the 300 Win Mag that got adopted to the requirement after a short consideration of the 338 Lapua. With a 220 grain bullet and muzzle velocity of 2,800 feet per second, it was more cost-effective for less recoil, making for its win over the 338. Good rounds for hunting big game, among others, are Winchester Deer Season 150 grain XP and Federal Gold Medal Match 190 grain HP BT. And there you have it, guys. The best long-range calibers. If you think I forgot one, please put it into the comments and let us know why you think it should make the list.